We'll go ahead and call our meeting to order, and for the record, let the record reflect that Chairman Strong is present, Mayor Battle is present, Mr. Vincent is present, Taylor Edge will be here representing the Mayor of Madison by proxy vote, Mr. Kling is present, and Mayor Cottle is present, and we'll go ahead and start our meeting. Item number 1 is approval of minutes for meeting held on August 31st, 2016. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mayor Battle. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Cottle. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2, adopting the draft of the 2017 Public Participation Plan. Resolution 19-16 adopts the draft of the 2017 Public Participation Plan.
This is a required document from Federal Highway, and you guys have adopted the 2013 version back in 2013. We've updated it for a draft 2017 edition, which includes additional forms of public outreach that we've adopted since 2013, such as social media and the MPO website, which did not exist back in 2013, as well as the newsletters that we distribute more widely and our new blog. In addition, the public participation plan includes as an appendix the limited English proficiency plan, which is a Title VI plan required by federal regulation. And we just updated this one from the 2013 version as well to include new partner agencies such as the Office of Multicultural Affairs, the Hispanic Latino Advisory Council, and other organizations that help us gain public comment from people with limited English proficiency. We also updated the non-English speaking demographics for the MPO area.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Edge. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kling. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, amendment to the year 2040 Transportation Plan. Resolution 20-16 amends throughout the year 2040 Transportation Plan to change project number 80 and project number 46 from visionary to funded. Ms. Kling?
This resolution amends the adopted 2040 Transportation Plan to change those two projects from visionary to funded. These are the Parkway from Lakewood Drive to Hollow Road with overpasses at Starworth Drive and Winchester Road, and Research Park Boulevard from Old Madison Pike to US 72. Both of those projects are being funded due to the Restore Our Roads initiative. As we've discussed in previous meetings, the City of Huntsville and the State of Alabama have agreed to cost share various projects, and they're contributing about $125 million each to construct critical road improvements in the area. One project that is currently in the environmental stage is the Memorial Parkway project from Sparkman Drive to Maston Lake Road with an overpass at Maston Lake. When the environmental documents for this project were being developed, the Federal Highway Administration requested that the area of study be extended from its original ending a bit above Maston Lake Road all the way out to Hollow Road, which is north of Winchester. The State of Alabama and the City of Huntsville complied with the request of Federal Highway Administration. And during the last Federal Highway Administration environmental document review at the State of Alabama and the City of Huntsville, the Federal Highway Administration set forth another requirement that the next phase, or phase 2 of Memorial Parkway, shown in the environmental documents being from Lakewood Drive to Hollow Road with overpasses at Starworth Drive and Winchester Road, be shown in the long-range plan as a funded project. The Federal Highway Administration stated that if the phase 2 project was not shown as funded in the document, then the current project at the Parkway from Sparkman to Maston Lake, including the overpass there at Maston Lake, would not be funded. It would be halted, and all work would cease for that project. Since that is a high priority project for the state and the city, we wanted to make sure that this was the project number 46 was added. It's the current Maston Lake project is almost ready for right-of-way acquisition, and so we cannot lose this project. In order for the Maston Lake project to progress, the state has agreed to provide funding for it, for the Parkway from Lakewood to Hollow Road with overpasses. Section 4 of the year 2040 Transportation Plan was amended to show the project as funded. The financial section was also amended to show the project as programmed for funding in 2037 and 2038, with engineering design and right-of-way in 2037, and utility relocation and construction in 2038. During the development of the original 2040 transportation plan, the state of Alabama committed to only fund capacity projects for a 10-year period, which was 2015 to 2024. And in the case of project number 46, they made a special exception and increased the amount of funds dedicated for the National Highway Performance Program project so that the Parkway and Maston Lake Overpass project that's underway may be completed. The next project to be shown is funded as Project 80, which is Research Park Boulevard from Old Madison Pike to US 72. And as mentioned earlier, the City of Huntsville has agreed with the State of Alabama to each appropriate $125 million for the construction of priority roads in the area. According to the latest agreement between the city and the state, there were some additional funds remaining to be programmed for overruns and other critical projects, and the City of Huntsville requested that the project of Research Park Boulevard from Old Madison Pike to 72 be funded with some of the remaining money. The State of Alabama has permitted the City of Huntsville to allocate $15 million of its own money towards the project and will apply or count the $15 million amount towards its $125 million match for transportation projects. Federal funds are not being used for the project, and an agreement between the State of Alabama and City of Huntsville was approved by both parties in September 2016 to legally allow this to occur. And there's the updated map of the project. The estimated cost of the project is for engineering design 2017 $700,000, right-of-way acquisition fiscal year 2018 $300,000, utility relocation fiscal year 2018 $100,000, and construction fiscal year 2019 $13.9 million. Projects being added to the 2040 plan as it's a regionally significant project and in close proximity to I-565 and terminates at 72 West. And we expect the Federal Highway Administration to be involved in the Research Park Boulevard project since the segment runs between two federal roads. The addition of both of these projects brings the total amount of planned and funded capacity projects identified in the year 2040 transportation plan to $612.7 million. In looking at the total planned, the total road improvements, over 43% of all funds committed to pay for capacity improvements are 100% local funds provided by the local jurisdictions of Huntsville, Madison County, and the City of Madison. The plan was put out for public review, and a Citizens Advisory Committee was held this past Monday, December the 5th. The committee members did have some comments pertaining to the projects, and those were communicated back to the Citizens Committee today. The comments were to reevaluate utility relocation costs for both projects to include Google Fiber, and we've told them that utility relocation, of course, will be tweaked prior to bidding and that costs are estimates only. Another concern was that the Parkway project would cause more traffic back up towards Tennessee. However, Project 46 out to Winchester Road, we will be reevaluating that since it is programmed out to 2037 and 2038. It's not an imminent project. That will be reevaluated again in 2045 for the 2045 transportation plan development, and we will also reevaluate other interchanges and other improvements on the Parkway northward toward Tennessee. So that is it.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mayor Battle. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kling. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, amendment to the FY 2016-219 Transportation Improvement Program. Resolution 21-16 recommends the regionally significant project section of the adopted FY 2016-219 TIP to add projects at Cecil, Ashburn Drive, and Research Park Boulevard SR 255. Ms. Kling?
Okay, this resolution adds both of these projects in the Transportation Improvement Program. They are both identified in the year 2040 Transportation Plan, and we added them to the TIP for consistency, so both the documents can be the same. The Cecil Ashburn Drive is a special Restore Our Roads project, and as mentioned earlier, the City of Huntsville and State of Alabama has agreed to contribute $125 million each for critical road projects in the area over the next several years. The State of Alabama has allowed the city to count $15 million of the Cecil Ashburn Drive improvement toward the city's $125 million contribution. The city is paying for the improvements 100%, and there's no federal money involved. There was a well-attended public involvement meeting held by the City of Huntsville at Hampton Cove School on September 13, 2016. And at that meeting, they also obtained public comments as well. The engineering design for the project began in 2015. The right-of-way acquisition is scheduled for 2017 in the amount of $200,000. Utility relocation is scheduled for 2017 in the amount of $50,000, and construction is scheduled for 2018 in the amount of $13.9 million. The Research Park Boulevard design is scheduled for fiscal year 2017 in the amount of $700,000. Right-of-way, fiscal year 2018, $300,000. Utility relocation, fiscal year 2018, $100,000. And construction in fiscal year 2019, $13.9 million. The addition of the Cecil Ashburn Drive and Research Park Boulevard projects brings 100% total local commitment of funding regionally significant projects till the year 2019 to $148.2 million. And when considering the entire TIP for road improvements only, our local governments are providing 49.4% of funding for road improvement projects, and the federal and state governments are providing 50.6% of the financing. We did put the plan out for public review and comment, and there was also a Citizens Advisory Committee meeting held where they made comments as well on Monday. They did have some comments pertaining to the projects, and the staff consulted with city engineering departments and other staff to obtain more answers to the concerns, and they were communicated to the CAC members. The committee recommendations were to evaluate utility relocation costs for both projects to include Google Fiber, and essentially, as these are estimated costs, once we get closer to a construction date, the utility relocation costs will be tweaked. The committee also voted to split the resolution into two parts, with Part A being Cecil Ashburn Drive and Part B for Research Park Boulevard. For Part B, Research Park Boulevard, the Citizens Advisory Committee requested interchanges at Research Park and I-565, and at Research Park Boulevard at 72, and they requested they be addressed. And we did inform them at the meeting that an interchange justification study was performed several years ago, citing the need, but the proposed cost of that project was over $125 million to construct those interchange modifications. That funding is an issue, but the City of Huntsville is working on securing the funding for those projects. The committee voted in favor of the Research Park Boulevard improvements. For Cecil Ashburn, the committee decided to make a motion to recommend non-approval for the TIP as written and consider targeted operational improvements at or in proximity to intersections and on Sutton Road instead of capacity increases between Donegal Drive and Old Big Cove Road. And they stated they wanted to do this because they were not comfortable with safety concerns, a lack of traffic volume-based justification for the project, and they felt that the construction cost for the project was just unrealistic. There were several, as mentioned, several concerns. Before breaking down each of the committee's comments, I wanted to state that there was an open house public meeting held in September by City Engineering with hundreds of people in attendance to show the project and to answer questions and obtain public comments. The City of Huntsville Engineering Department has told us they've received over 100 comments pertaining to the project, and they are also reviewing, in the process of reviewing those. They've already made some critical changes to the design because of those comments, and some of the comments that were received by the public were on the same issues that the Citizens Advisory Committee have also brought up, so these are not brand new comments that anyone has seen. So taking each of these concerns pretty quickly under consideration, the staff consulted with the city's engineering department to further answer the issues. First, with safety, the Citizens Committee was concerned that the road will be less safe if widened. It was communicated to the members that the road is being designed to add safety improvements in respect to speed limits and also a 10-foot 10.5-foot separated area which will contain a 9-inch raised concrete median will be constructed, as well as 4-foot paved shoulders. And the entire road will be paved to interstate standards, the same type of pavement that's used on interstates. Secondly, the justification for the project. There's been an engineering study and an analysis done on the corridor that shows that the road is at or near capacity requiring improvement. And since the funding is already available for the road, it's a perfect time to construct the improvements before everything gets really worse. Thirdly, the unrealistic construction costs when compared to Research Park Boulevard. Comparison of the two projects by Huntsville City Engineers was done and was showed that the Cecil Ashburn Drive is to have a raised concrete median, while the Research Park Boulevard project is to have a jersey barrier to separate traffic. And most of the Cecil Ashburn Drive environmental work and the blasting and geotechnical work was performed during the project's original construction. The same environmental and geotechnical consultants are being used that had done work previously on the road. And additionally, Research Park Boulevard has two key modifications, which are bridge improvements at Old Madison Pike to better accommodate bicyclists and pedestrians, and improvements to the access at Bradford Boulevard. So that accounts for the cost differential, and those comments have been provided to the Citizens Advisory Committee members.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Edge. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Cottle. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, amendment to the FY 2016-219 Transportation Improvement Program. Resolution 22-16 amends the Transportation Alternatives section of the adopted FY 2016-219 TIP to add funds for parking facilities at the EUL Greenway. Ms. Page?
Yes, this is a parking lot that would be used for access to the EUL TAP project that was previously approved by this committee, the CAC, and the TCC in June 2015 and August 2015. This is for connectivity onto Redstone Arsenal for cyclists, and the city owns the land there where the trailhead is proposed, and it's too small for other development besides something the size of a parking lot that is proposed in this project. The public comments that were received on Monday night from the CAC had two primary concerns: the location, how does this EUL Greenway project itself, and again the EUL project itself has already been voted and is already in the TIP, but the location of the parking lot to connect to it was their concern. And they wondered if it was part of the larger Greenway network, since this is a Greenway. And we tried to correct the confusion there, that even though it's a Greenway, it wasn't originally designed to be part of the overall master plan for greenways or part of our Greenway network. It was designed to be part of the Bikeway network. It was originally proposed by the Bicycle Advocacy and Safety Committee, and this is a bike connectivity project. And then the safety concern was, why is the parking lot across the road from the EUL? They couldn't really visualize the entire project or see some of the location maps because they were not available to them at the CAC. However, for the TCC meeting, we presented these two location maps that show where the parking facility is located, the size of the property there in relationship to future development, the location of the EUL Greenway path, and the Greenway itself connecting onto Redstone Gateway there by Boeing's parking lot. So this is the project, and you see the parking lot there on the far left to the north of Governor's, and the trailhead itself to the south of Governor's West. In relationship to Redstone Gateway's master plan, on the far left there's a red box that shows the Greenway itself coming out from underneath I-565 and terminating there in the parking lot by Boeing. And this is a project, again, that the cyclist community has been very passionate about, and so we informed the CAC of those to try and help them with their concerns.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mayor Battle. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Cottle. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, amendment to the FY 2016-219 Transportation Improvement Program. Resolution 23-16 amends the transit project section of the adopted FY 2016-219 TIP to add funds for Madison County Transit. Ms. Kling?
Okay, The state of Alabama has informed us that the official county or rural transit funding amounts for fiscal year 2017 are for Huntsville, Madison, or from Madison County TRAM, the TRAM program. Is for operating assistance $338,090, and the administration assistance $56,135. As you know, the county operates the TRAM service, which is a demand response transit service, and all of our transit providers that receive federal funds are required to estimate amounts of funding for a 4-year period. And once the amounts are officially known, the TIP is amended to reflect the corrected amounts. So the state of Alabama has basically told us that those are the amounts for FY 2017 for Madison County. TRAM does receive the rural transit funds as a pass-through from ALDOT, and we have verified the amounts with Madison County to make sure that they are okay with that, and everything is consistent with what the information they receive from the state, and everything is in order.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mayor Battle. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Edge. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, appointment to the Federal Transit Administration FTA representatives. Resolution 24-16 appoints a representative of the Federal Transit Administration to the MPO Policy Board. Ms. Kling?
During our last TMA certification review, the Federal Transit Administration's evaluator recommended that a staff member of the Federal Transit Administration be appointed as a non-voting member to the MPO, and in accordance with the latest MPO agreement signed by all jurisdictions and approved in February of 2016, this can be done. The MPO staff is requesting that the Director of the Office of Planning and Program Development for FTA Region 4, which is in Atlanta, be appointed, and that would be Ms. Jennifer Hibbert, and this will help us to meet the recommendations for our next federal review, which will occur in February.
Thank you, Ms. Kling, and I will reiterate this is a non-voting position and does not affect our quorum. Is that correct?
That's correct,
Thank you.
yes.
Appreciate that. All in is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mayor Cottle, second by Mr. Kling. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, status report of A-Trip projects and other major transportation projects affecting the MPO. Les Hobson with Alabama Department of Transportation.
Okay, the first project we have is in the city of Huntsville. It's the widening and realignment of Church Street Phase 1 from Monroe Street to east of Pratt Avenue. The clearing and grubbing project that is underway is just about complete, and the roadway project and bridge construction is coming up in the spring of 2017. The next project in the city of Huntsville is the additional lanes on Winchester Road from Dominion Circle to Nawyer Road. And design is almost complete, and right-of-way acquisition is to start in the spring. There is quite a bit of utility relocation involved with that, which right-of-way will have to be obtained first. So maybe 2018 on that. In the city of Huntsville, the Huntsville Northern Bypass, and the design is approximately 60% complete, and right-of-way acquisition is about to start on that project. In the city of Huntsville, the additional lanes on Martin Road from Old Jim Williams Road to Zert Road, and this is the A-Trip funded portion, and that is to be let in fiscal year 2017. The next section of Martin Road is STPAA funded, and that also is looking to be let at the same time as the other one in fiscal year 2017. The ongoing project right now on South Parkway, the overpasses, Bird Spring, and that is about 40% complete right now. In the city of Huntsville, the Maston Lake overpass, and the environmental document is about to be submitted for approval, and right-of-way acquisition is to start hopefully this winter. and we're looking at letting it probably in 2018. In the cities of Huntsville and Madison, the Zert Road northbound lanes from north of Martin Road to south of Madison Boulevard. And the work is about to restart on the northbound lanes in the Lady Ann Lake area, probably in January. And we're looking at completing that in spring. In the cities of Huntsville and Madison, also the Zert Road southbound lanes and Greenway from Martin Road to Madison Boulevard. Design is 85% complete. Right-of-way acquisition is well underway, and we're looking at probably late spring, early summer, sometime letting on that. In the cities of Huntsville and Madison, the additional lanes on US 72 from County Line Road to Providence Main Street. It's a combination of funding there. This project is still around 40% complete. We are looking at some ways to cut the cost on this project due to the budget on this. So we're still looking at trying to get right-of-way acquisition starting in fiscal year 2017 with a construction start in 2019. In the city of Madison, the widening and resurfacing of County Line Road is 95% complete, almost done. In the city of Madison, it's the Kellner Road extension, and that is still in the early preliminary design stage. In Madison County, the Blake Bottom Road overpass design is 90% complete, and right-of-way acquisition is well underway, and we're looking at possibly a spring 2017 letting, just depending on the right-of-way acquisition. And in Madison County, the bridge replacement approaches on Winchester Road over the Flint River, 65% complete. In Madison County, the additional lanes on Winchester Road from Narya Road to Riverton Road, and that design is almost complete, and right-of-way acquisition is almost complete, looking at fiscal year 2017 letting. In Madison County, the additional lanes on Winchester Road from Flint River to past Bell Factory Road, that work is about 10% complete right now, to be finished in the summer 2017. And in Madison County, additional lanes on Jeff Road, and that is we still are in the environmental process, and it's possible with a lot of right-of-way acquisition, possibly 2018, could be 2019 start on that. And that's a total amount of construction and design right now. And that's it.
Thank you. Any questions for Les? Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Item number 9 is election of Secretary of the MPO Policy Board. Is there a motion for that position?
Move Mayor Mary Cottle.
Mayor Battle recommends Mary Cottle. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kling. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ms. Cottle, congratulations. You're the new Secretary of the MPO. Item number 10 is public comment for anyone that would like to address the members of the MPO. The floor is open now for that time. Thank you. Seeing none. Is there any other business to come before the Metropolitan Planning Organization?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Kling?
as I'm sure everyone noticed, that there's an employee with the same last name as mine. Upon being selected by the city council, I did check with the city attorney, who saw no conflict of interest in that appointment. I just
Thank you,
want to
Mr.
put that
Kling.
on the record.
Thank you. Let the record reflect. Is there any other business that would like to come before the MPO?
Yes. you all should have a packet that's about 4 pages long and starts with a letter to ALDOT. This is in relationship to a grant that Madison County is applying for. The county is applying for a project that is on Green Mountain by the Green Mountain Nature Preserve. And in your packet, there's a project description, a cross-section, probable costs, and the maps of the location of this project for Madison County. The MPO does not have to pass a resolution in support of this project. We would have to add to the project to the 2016-2019 TIP if Madison County wins this grant. And the letter on the top of your packet is all that is required for the grant purposes. It's simply a letter in support by the MPO board, and that the project is within the MPO boundary, and that the board would then move to vote to include the project in the 2016-2019 TIP if the project was approved. This is the map that's in your packet. The project is on Green Mountain along Shoddy Road. It's a sidewalk extension of 3,000 feet and connects to a future sidewalk that is being developed and some new housing development up there, close to the Green Mountain Nature Trail, and would connect to the opening of the Green Mountain Nature Preserve on up there.
Thank you. Is this take a vote? Do we need to have a motion? We do. Okay, okay, is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Kling. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mayor Cottle. Any further discussion? I will add to this. This right here is, of course, everybody knows that Green Mountain is absolute beautiful area. The Madison County Nature Trail is located there. There's a lot of construction going on in the area. And for connectivity, it appears that this sidewalk is definitely warranted. I want to thank Houston Matthews and Richard Grace for their persistence in putting this package together, and I thank each member of the MPO for their support. There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Any further business? Ms. Kling?
I just wanted to let y'all know that the federal TMA certification review dates are upcoming. They are February the 15th through the 17th of 2017. That's a 3-day review period that the Federal Highway Administration and Federal Transit Administration comes to our MPO staff and to the citizens of Huntsville, and also to the elected officials that serve on this board, and look at the program in detail and in depth. There should be a meeting of the MPO members tentatively during the day of February the 16th of 2017, and also we expect a public meeting with Federal Highway Administration and FTA evaluators on the evening of February the 15th. I just want to make sure y'all mark that on your calendars. Those dates are tentative, but we do know that sometime in between the 15th and the 17th, some of those meetings will be occurring. Just to let y'all know, the MPO staff will be able to notify you, or we'll notify you once we get closer to that and once we have a set agenda from Federal Highway. And I want to say also, this is my last meeting, so thank you for
Thank you, Ms.
everybody.
Kling. I know that if you will, I don't know how many people know this, but Ms. Kling has announced that she will be retiring December the 31st after a couple of years of faithful service. And we appreciate everything that you've done for this MPO and for the greater Huntsville area. Anything else you'd like to address us or blast us, your last opportunity?
That's it. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate all you've done for us. Is there any further business that needs to come before the Metropolitan Planning Organization? Seeing none, our meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your attendance.
Have a good holiday.